Hello everyone, this is Alan back with another video, and today what I want to do is do a quick overview of this what I call the sales funnel call flow. Basically, this is something that's a little bit more broad than just the call flow. The call flow is going to tell you exactly what you need to do on a particular call, kind of the idea of what your objectives are, what are you trying to get done. And what this is going to be talking about is overall kind of what the series of calls you're going to be doing. So this will give you an idea of how to approach following up depending on what they've done, what they have not done. So with that said, let's move forward. So one thing I want y'all to understand is you're going to be organizing your leads. So how are you going to be doing that? Your leads will be going to be organized in the following. They're going to be people you have not reached out to. These will be fresh leads or maybe older leads that you haven't called for whatever reason, but you have not made that initial contact with them yet. So they don't know who you are, why you're calling, that sort of thing. Now, for the most part, the leads that I deal with are telephone interview leads. So these we do not do cold. Regardless of what they say, they have either filled something out or signed something or pretty much talked to somebody and said they want them to call. Now, sometimes life happens, people forget, depending on how long is it going to take. So just keep that in mind. But just like I said, keep that in mind. So these are going to be people you haven't, and what's important about this is you have not made that initial qualifying call. You have not qualified, are they still interested? We have a script and a script listing as far as how to do that. Yeah. So the next one is going to be people that you've already called, but have not seen a video. These are people you set up the appointment, you qualify them, meaning they are interested, at least interested in seeing some information, but for whatever reason, they haven't clicked on the text message you sent them or the email you sent them and actually watched the video. Now, for the most part, the videos that we do is less than 15 minutes. They're usually around 6 to 7. But life happens, and sometimes you're going to have to do that more than once. It takes a couple of touches. Um, so if they haven't seen the video, you just put them in a list and then follow up with them, but they can't move forward until they've seen the video. So they're either going to do one of two things. They're going to tell you they're not interested. They're going to not answer the phone. And if they don't do that over a certain amount of times, then you can take a hint. This is why we use phone, text, and email and voicemails to reach out to them. Or they haven't seen it, and what you got to get it, you got to let them resend it, let them know to see it, set up another appointment. Or they have seen it, they're going to move forward. Usually, if they haven't seen a video, they're just not going to pick up the phone, and it'll be a missed appointment. So you can just assume they haven't seen it, or they'll get back to you. So the next version are people that have seen the video, like I said, but they haven't seen the presentation. So at that point, it's just a matter of moving them forward. This is important because when they see the initial video, they may have a couple of questions. At this point, if you haven't built rapport, it's important to start building rapport, start getting an understanding of what they're looking for, what are their goals. That way, when you do give them the thing for the presentation, um, you can then have some things that'll help you kind of close them out. Now, as far as also you'll have people that you're following up with, because keep in mind these are more follow-up blocks. So, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So you have people that have seen the presentation, but they have not joined. At this point, these are people that have a full scope as to what's going on. It's real to them. So at this point, you're just doing the last bit of things. Either say they're interested, they have a yellow light, so they're not. Keep in mind, or when I say not interested, it's more like, okay, they don't know if they want to join now. So here's the thing. What you don't want to do is create a situation of high sales pressure. But you do want to ask. If they're not ready, that's fine. Make sure you keep them on Facebook. Make sure you keep them like on an email list. Keep them somewhere where they can kind of stay connected to you so they can see stuff that's real to you. Because if they see you working, life changes. You want them to be thinking of you and what you have. But this is also one thing where you, depending on what team you're on of mine, when you're looking at this video, it could be on the table to close to do three-way calls. That just depends on what version. Because there's certain things where we do that, and certain things where it doesn't make as much sense to do that. So bear with me. And then you have people that are not interested, which they could say that any part of the process. There's nothing wrong with people not being interested. That's perfectly fine. but you do want an answer. You don't want, like, people, or you're gonna have to take a hint. I typically do 3 to 4 calls. After 4 or 5, I kind of put them in a separate bag that I can reach out to them later on. So moving forward, and I'll try to do like a diagram that makes that a little bit more visual for you, because I'm a visual person, so I definitely understand that. All right. So the initial contact, your goal, and sorry for some of the typos. I'll probably have to correct that. Your goal here is to reach out to them via, text, phone, email, voicemail, and then your main goal on the call is to qualify them and set up an appointment. When I say your objective really is to qualify them. The goal is to set up an appointment, but your objective is, are they serious? Are they serious, tire kicking, and moving forward. So that's your initial contact. Understand that sometimes you're going to get people with voicemails. Sometimes you don't have time to call in when they want to be called. So it'll be phone tag. That's fine. If somebody reaches back out to you and you don't get them again, leave a voicemail of the website. This is why I taught you all how to do subdomains. Tell them you emailed them, text them. Your job is to establish communication. If it's not on the phone, there's nothing wrong with that. If they're communicating you via text, go that way. If they're communicating you via email, try to get them via text. So you don't have to get them on the phone, but you do want to get them on the phone. You just want a yes or no. Are you interested? Are you not? If they didn't interview leads, they should. But life happens, life's changed, and your goal is to sift and sort, not to be emotionally attached at all. The next thing is your initial follow-up or appointment. This is assuming that they have seen the video. So, or no, this is, you have set up an appointment at this point. So you're doing the initial video appointment in order to see if they've seen the video and move to the presentation, or if they're not interested. And then, like, if they haven't seen the video, most likely they're not going to go to the appointment. If that's the case, then just leave them a voicemail that there was an appointment. If you're not really sure about the person, you can always do, which is GAP, which is called grab a pen. What that means is you could always send them a voicemail, send them an email, and tell them, look, this is how you get a hold of me. This is how you get a hold of the information. And what I would actually do at that point, well, we can go into more techniques there, but that's what you do. And you put the ball in their court, and then you kind of move on. I'm not saying sometimes you will have to follow up with these people more than one, but what I'm saying is do not put yourself in a situation where, like, you're indefinitely following up with people. You can always put them in the list. After 3 or 4 calls or voicemails, they know who you are. You can put them in a separate pile and then go to that pile down the road. But yeah. If they have seen the video, then you move forward with a presentation. So build some rapport, ask them questions, really what they're looking for, what they're getting. Ask open-ended questions. Don't try to answer it. Again, you're not trying to close them, unless you really see that they're really, really ready to get started. And but they'll give you that indication. And then, get them to a presentation. You could do it one of two ways. You can give them a scheduled webinar, or you can send them another link. I personally like to do recorded videos. To be honest with you, the presentations are important just so people can know they're live, it's a real thing. But the truth is, I like to, say, look, when can you see the video, and put it in their court so they can see it on their time. But I do want a hard appointment, so it's not that much difference. And as far as closing people, these are people that they've seen the presentation, they know what's up. They may have some further questions. They may have some other objections. That's fine. What you want to do at this point is basically see what their goals are. How much money do they want to see? How much? Yeah, and understand that there's going to be other, like, each one of these things are going to be broken down. I'm going to be doing training tutorials. I'm going to be live for answering questions. The biggest thing I can really say with the call flow, and this is going to be a theme you're going to hear me say over and over and over, is you have to do it. Whatever fear you have, the best thing I can say is to put that aside. Nobody's going to kill you. These people know they want to be called. They want to be out or reached out to you. The worst that they can say is no. And yes, you may have some knuckleheads, but for the most part, we're not reaching out to people that don't want to be reached out to. So just understand that. And at the end of the day, I try to do these videos to give you all, it's not something you all have to constantly know everything perfectly, but I want you all to have a scope to what you are supposed to do. What are these outcomes in these calls? And each of these calls will be broken down. And not just really by me, by some of the people that are my sponsors. Like there's a follow-up call, the magic, non-magic formula, um, all there's scripts as far as what you need to say, how you need to say it. But at the end of the day, it's a conversation. So um, it really, once it's followed up, it's like, hey, this is Alan again. Have you seen the video? Have you seen the presentation? What have you thought? Do you have any questions? Answering them questions. If you don't know, say you don't know, but I can definitely get the answer from my sponsor. Have if they have questions about the money, have links. This is what the forwarding domains are for. It will get more specific with that, but that's really all it is. If they have objections, I mean, depending on when you're listening to this video, really some of this stuff is some of this stuff is as little as $30. So it's like what are really the objections? So anyway, with that being said, I don't want to make this too long. This is the sales flow. If you have any issues, put them in the Facebook group, the Just Start Facebook group. Let us know. And this is Alan. Edward's my middle name. So this is Alan. And until next time.